One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And I have a roll call, please.
Village President Hawkins,
Present.
Miss Bruni, absent.
Absent.
Mr. Dedloff. Here. Mr. Morgan. Here. Mr. Bassini. Here. Miss Whirl.
Absent.
Miss Weedle.
Present. Thank you. Happy New Year's, everyone. Thanks, Rose. Is there a motion to approve our minutes dated 12/16/2024?
I'll move to approve the minutes of 12/16/2024 as presented with one minor altercation. Under President Hawkins, it says the IDOT meeting was held and not a turnabout, but a roundabout. So, main thing. Otherwise, yes, presented.
I'll second. Okay, motion to approve previous meeting minutes with correction as noted from 12/16/24. Motion made by Mr. Morgan,
Yes.
seconded by Mr. Dedloff.
Yes.
Mr. Bassini
Yes.
and Miss Weedle.
Abstaining.
No, I'm just going to turn around. We'll do it.
Oh, I love hearing myself in an echo.
Yeah, right. And then I'm going to turn that thing off.
Is he speaking first, right?
He's the guy that's.
Yeah. We have
Josh Andrews.
Josh Anderson from Text My Gov, right? Josh?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Perfect. Appreciate you all letting me hop on here. I'm gonna try and be really brief, so I'm gonna try and keep this to around 10 minutes. Essentially what I'm gonna do is a short presentation on TextMyGov and the benefits that associate with that. Now, if there's any questions from any of the council members or anybody that would like to ask as I present, feel free to interrupt. Now, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull up my screen right here and share this. I just wanna make sure everybody can see. Is that seeable to everyone?
It's being.
It's being recorded.
Perfect. Okay. So with TextMyGov, what we are is we are a smart texting tool. Now we specifically work with local government. So in fact, we work not too far from you guys with Seneca. Now, exactly what we do is there's three main areas that we cover for you guys. Now with us, we are directly texting. We have just found that to be the most effective way to reach out to residents, that being with the open rates of them being 98% within the first 5 minutes of receiving that. And then as far as what we do is there's three main areas, like I said. So the first being helping residents receive alerts. Now for you guys, this could be general or emergency. Typically around your guys' size, I am seeing anywhere from like events to council meetings, anywhere if you guys needed to a little bit on the more emergency side of oil orders, water breaks, wanting to notify residents. That is all done through text message. The second part of this is going to be for the residents, in where they can actually go in and request information, and this is where the smart texting tool comes in. Now, for us, what this does, this allows residents to text in with questions that they might have, and I will show an example here in the back end shortly for you guys, where they can text in the question and receive an answer back automatically without even having to call into the office to get that information. Now, all of that is customized with us, so you guys can customize where that goes, what it says to answer each question specifically. And then this last part is a reporting issues tool. Now, this is specifically used in the same way as residents can text in pretty common issues that I see anywhere from like water leaks, potholes, code issues. Once they're able to do this, what the program then does is goes through and asks a series of questions, again, that you guys customize to gather information on the issue. Once all that information is then being gathered, what it then will do is send directly over to whoever would be correspondingly responsible to getting that issue taken care of. Now, they receive that information either in an email or a text form, so they can directly reply back to the resident if more information is needed, update the resident, or anything to that effect. Now, with TextMyGov, it is a very easy way to communicate. As you can see, with residents and with us, there's not an app, so there's not an email or download or sign up process required, other than that they can text into the program with you guys, sign up for the alert group, and from there, they can also text in, report issues, request information. Again, all of that's automated, so it's not creating extra workload for you guys already. Now, I'm going to move on here and go back to a little bit with TextMyGov. Before I go any farther, is there any questions that I can answer, or do we feel all right?
We feel good.
Good. Okay. Now, with TextMyGov, we do have a few things in here that we do provide you guys as far as it comes with marketing material. To obviously, a tool is only going to be valued, as well as residents use the program. With this, we provide marketing material such as a widget on the website where residents can actually go directly in, opt in for different groups that they want to receive notifications on. And from there, we also have it where you can go in and find more information on how to utilize the program. Now, also with this, we do have a database where we can provide of your guys' residents. When we do this, we have a welcome message that goes out that allows them to opt in or opt out to the program. Typically, where I'm seeing from that is anywhere from 40 to 60% of the households in your guys' population off the bat signed up and utilizing the program. Now, when we send these out, an example is Lincoln County in Nebraska, where a resident is able to get into the database, it texts them this message here. And if they have more information and they want to sign up, they continue. Otherwise, they can just text stop and opt back out or opt back into the program at any point in time. A few things that I would say that sets us apart and what I see essentially working for you guys the best, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but a big thing that I'm seeing with you guys is being able to send out general or emergency alerts to your residents in a very quick and easy way. One of the big things is we are also a web-based software, so it is even able to be done through your guys' cell phone in an emergency situation. So it's not even like you have to have access on your computer. You guys will have a username and password. Now with that, you can also send out notifications via geolocation, so you can outline areas that are affected. Say it's a water break in a certain part of the village, you are able to outline that and send out just a message to that particular area. Now with the text inside residents, you're seeing this cut down on your phone calls into the office with general questions and freeing up more time for staff to accomplish tasks that are needed done. And then an easy way for residents to report their issues by texting tools by texting into the village. From there, it's received and able to be taken care of. With that database, we have found great participation from the community right from the beginning, and then throughout the lifetime with TextMyGov and utilizing the service. With this, if you guys would like to try out, I've looked at a couple examples. If you wanted to text pothole or building permit into this 435 number, you are welcome to. I also wanted to show you what this backend looks like very briefly. Over here, this is what it would look like for you guys. This is my guest dashboard. Very simple and easy to use. It's an overview of all the information. From there, you have a local number that we provide for you guys so it's familiar to residents. You can see the most recent text, any unrecognized, and the messages that have been used. Now in here, I texted in both of these so you can see what this looks like. An example that I put together for you guys is a building permit as I found on the website. Now with that, you said, thanks for contacting the Village of Grant Park, and I gave the information of how to obtain a building permit or application. And then I also included the link below of where they can purchase one underneath. So it can link up to your guys' website or direct residents where they would like to, where you would like them to go based on what they texted in. The second example I have is a pothole. Again, very simple and easy. So I used the pothole example, texting this in. The program then asked me what the nearest address is to the pothole. I gave an address, my name, the second question, and then a description, or you can upload a picture of this as well. Underneath, you then would, as a resident, would receive a thank you for a reporting issue. If you need more information, you can reach out. And then if it is an emergency, you can dial 911 or whatever you'd like to say. Again, all of these are customized. Underneath the notification sent, this is where you can customize depending on the issue, where or who you would like to receive this information. They can either receive it in an email form where it shows all of this, or they can receive it in a text form and then you can directly reply to that. Now, as far as this backend goes, the last couple of things I wanted to show you as far as what the notifications would look like. A few examples we have put together, like a city alerts group of where, hey, we would like to send out something just to the whole village. You can click that group, type out your message, and then you'll just hit send underneath, and that will send out to everybody who's been opted into that group, or you can do multiple groups at the same time. The last part of this is I just wanted to give an idea of what the map selection tool looks like. In here, each one of these red dots is a number tied to a service address. So if I wanted to outline just a specific area right here, that say we've got a water leak or the boil order would be there, it'll highlight it in green, tell me the amount of locations that it's then going to receive a text message. I will do a boil order as an example. Once we hit save, this automatically will populate up in the existing groups. From there, you can send out to that, and that will only go out to the area that was then allocated. Finishing up, I just wanted to show what Seneca is used as far as what the widget looks like for them. So right in here, residents can go in. All they have to do is click opt in if they want to, or they can directly text the short code number that we provide for you. The second part is you can have a learn more button where we can put flyers together of examples of what they can text in. We can also do anywhere putting in back examples of like, hey, here's a response you would get back, different questions. All of that is taken care of on our end. For the last little bit, essentially why TextMyGov, again, there's no download needed. And then we also dedicate what's called an account manager to you guys. That's somebody here at our office who takes care of the full setup. So with that, they're available for you guys at any point in time for any help. There's no extra cost tied with that. Once again, with this, they also take care of all of your setup. So essentially, you guys aren't having to go in and take care of doing all of this. And then all of the training is unlimited. So if anybody new wants trained on the program at any point in time, if there's turnover or somebody new comes in, you contact your account manager, and from there, they are ready to then be trained by our account manager for you guys. So that pretty well covers me. Is there any questions after presenting that I can answer here for the council?
Any board members?
Josh, can you send those pictures to us, the forms that you showed us?
I absolutely can. I can include a complete flyer of this presentation and a meeting recording as well if the council would like to review that as well. That's not a big deal on my end. Would you like me to also create a proposal for you guys to see what the pricing would look like for you?
Well, yes, of course, Josh.
Okay, I didn't know for sure. I know that I can't tell you after running initial numbers. I will say that this is not set in stone. We do negotiate with you guys. How we bill is based on your guys' population, which I had right around 1,200. How it is done is based on an annual fee. So your guys' annual fee would be $2,000 a year for this. That includes all of your training, all of the setup, and all of the purchase of the text message, and that's included in there. With that, when I send this over in there, there will also be a media package. This is optional for you guys. If you do that, essentially what that includes is us being able to provide marketing material, anywhere from promotional videos to flyers to social media posts. So you guys aren't having to take on that load. And then the last thing that I do, just so that I'm transparent, there's a first-time setup fee. That just covers us as far as the training, purchasing your guys' local number, text messages, all of that's included in that. And that's just $1,000. So out the door, first year would be $35,000, including the media package. If you didn't want that, it would be $3,000. And then for $3,000 for your first year, recurring would be the $2,000 without the media package, $2,500 with. When I send over that proposal, it will have a link in there that you guys can click on and view what's included in that media package as well. I think that for me covers everything. I will get that put together and sent your guys' way so that you have that available. And then you all have my email. If there's any questions or if you'd like to hop on a personal meeting, feel free to reach out.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Josh. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I tried to be short on your time. Appreciate you letting me hop on, and I will look forward to hearing from all of you. Hopefully on your next meeting.
Josh, can I ask you a question?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so for example, just because I haven't really seen your proposal. So right now, over like, let's say a traffic alert, we just put it on Facebook and hope people look at it. But this would be something where we can text the people who are signed up and they can get it in real time. Oh my God, 9,000 is closed because of this, yada, yada, I have to get around. Correct?
Yes, you are correct.
Okay.
So as soon as you create that group or send out that text message, that immediately will go out to everybody who's been opted into that group, or if you do it to a specific area, only allocated, it does send immediately. There's not a lag time essentially.
Right. Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, I will get that put together and have that sent out by tomorrow. And again, if anybody has questions, feel free to reach out.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
You too.
Bye.
That'll be it. All right, any questions or concerns, or anybody want to recap that, or we're just gonna wait for the proposal and any thoughts? I don't know. Who brought them in? Anybody, or he just approached us?
Just approach.
Okay, I didn't know if someone knew him and they brought him in. I mean, to me, the traffic would be awesome, the water, but I guess we just have to figure that out. We'll save that for the next. Board. Is there anyone else that has public comments? Okay, sorry, I lost my agenda. Hold on. Okay, do we have a motion on the floor to approve payments and payroll? Don't have a date for it.
I do. I move to approve bills for payment dated January 3rd, 2025 from the corporate general fund in the amount of $13,412.54. Also dated January 3rd from the testing account, $890.24. Also dated January 3rd from the American Rescue, SLFRF, $131,688.61. Also dated January 3rd from the TIF account, $104,476.73. Also moved to approve payroll ending December 17th, $1,500, ending December 21st, $16,776.04.
I'll second.
Just a real quick comment, under the TIF account, we're paying Scott Zizik at the Bennett Curtis House his last installment. And we're not paying the full installment because, as he pointed out, Sharper Homes was able to complete their work at less than what their fault was. So we're only paying $18,000 instead of $26,000. So that's nice. He used the local business came in less than the full. So that's real good, and we appreciate that. Are there any other questions about any of the other?
I just, this 86, how come that's not down here, this 86,000 to KVCC, wasn't that part of the SLR? I think it seems like a large amount, I was just looking at it.
It's lumped into.
Oh, lumped in there, amount,
Yes,
okay,
it's separated up there because of who we're paying, but
Okay.
it's lumped into the actual fund.
okay, no worries, I was. Anybody else? Nope.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Motion to approve bills for payments as follows. Dated January 3rd, general fund in the amount of $13,412.54. Best account, $890.24. The American Rescue SLFRF, an amount of $131,688.61. And out of the TIP account, $104,476.73. Payroll ending December 17th, the amount of $1,500 even. And also payroll ending December 21st in the amount of $16,776.04. Motion is made by Mr. Morgan,
Yes.
seconded by Mr. Wheel,
Yes.
Mr. Dedloff,
Yes.
and Mr. Basine.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, awesome. Department reports. Sorry. Yeah, department reports, clerk Scott Dillman.
Okay, two things. Received a email from the county clerk's office saying where was the levy that was supposed to be turned in, and what was the other allocation or appropriations paperwork, both of which I had personally walked into their office and handed to them.
Before they asked about it?
Yeah, a month ago. And the allocation was 6 months
I was
ago.
gonna say we did all that.
So I don't know where it all went. And Carrie verified, yeah, I know you picked it up and said you were going. So I did. I don't know what happened, but
We
I
got
did it again.
Okay,
Had a witness. So hopefully we're all good in that regard. Secondly, also from the county clerk's office, I had to renew everybody's on who needs to be on the economic interest statement list, which is basically all department heads, trustees, all that kind of stuff. And so that is turned in somewhere typically in March. You'll get an email if you've done it before, and you just fill it in appropriately for your particular situation.
Yeah.
And you're all done. And that refers even to people that may not be re-upping to stay on the board. So,
well, yeah, because we still have
So-
some March to April.
yeah, I mean, there is I don't really know what they do. They say the fine will start
Yeah,
on May 15th. If you don't do it, it's so much a day, but which you'll be out of office, but
it takes
just do
2
it. It takes
seconds,
you, yeah,
just
5
do
minutes
it.
and you're done.
That one's totally online, so you
Yeah.
need to go in and get. a
So
receipt.
solve the problem, just to alert you that it is coming, and new incoming possible elected are not on that list as of yet.
Right.
But you will be for next year, so,
Sounds good.
okay,
Thank you, sir.
that's all I have.
We do the smart.
Good, yeah, oh, sorry. Yes, I forgot they were there, sorry. You know I can't see past the audience. Let's go ahead and skip down. We're gonna go to, the law enforcement committee. We're gonna give it to Chief Fry.
Tonight, we're gonna swear in a new part-time officer, Todd Huntley. Step up here, Todd. Todd comes to us after working 30+ years with the sheriff's department and,
Take a t-shirt?
in Keith County Sheriff's Department, so he knows his way around here. I think it took us 4 hours to train him. And most of the 4 hours was lunch. So Scott, if you would.
Mhm.
You want to touch closer? Yeah, you can step
Yeah, you
up.
can come up. That's definitely.
Oh, yeah,
Come on, get up here and take a good picture.
not that far.
Yeah. Would please raise your right hand and
Yeah.
repeat my words, please. Please state your name for the record. And I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution for the state of Illinois,
and the Constitution for the state of Illinois.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
I will faithfully discharge the duties
of police officer for the village of Grant Park
as a police officer for the village of Grant Park
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And as in the past, he brings so much experience to us, just made us a whole lot better.
Oh, I can only imagine. I can only imagine. And who was the young lady taking pictures? Is that your wife?
Like,
What was her name?
Trish.
Welcome, Trish. Oh, there she is.
And his
Welcome,
daughter
Trish.
here.
Oh, that's the daughter. Welcome to Grand Park.
And one of his first calls he got to handle was the crash on Christmas.
Oh,
So,
well, welcome.
right.
Thank you. You guys don't have to stick around. You're relieved. You're welcome. Stay safe. On that now?
Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, probably me.
I figured. All right. Let's go back up. Ordinances and Insurance Committee, Miss Susie Weedle.
Yes, I would like to make a motion to pass resolution number R-1-25-1. Resolution of the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Grant Park, Illinois, to authorize the NPPFA deferred compensation plan as an employee benefit.
I will second.
Thank you.
To express my ignorance, what is that?
I have no idea.
Greg might be able to tell us a little bit more about that.
Oh, right. So it's Transamerica. Basically, it's like a government 457 plan, like 401k. It's what we had in Chicago Heights when I was there. A couple things I really liked about it. Number one, they use like Vanguard funds, which I've always liked. One thing they also do is you can, if you want to self-manage your own account, you can put your money into a Charles Schwab. It's called a personal choice retirement account. So all your funds go into there, and basically you can use any ETF, any mutual fund, any stock, whatever, for the expense ratio. So like if you buy like a Vanguard, the Vanguard S&P 500 index ETF, your expense ratio is like 0.03% on your money, to where if you keep it in like the other company you have, or if you keep it in Transamerica, you're paying like 1.75% on your money. So you're basically saving, and if you get 100,000, 200,000, 300, you're saving yourself, maybe $10,000 plus a year over time. So, and it, like I said, I mean, he's in Chicago Heights. We use them in Chicago Heights, and they're a really good company. I know they're like service like I think 600 departments or something like that in Illinois or something. So
That's a nice addition to IMRF.
and it's no additional cost. Yeah. it doesn't
Right, it doesn't
cost
cost us anything, it's
Yeah, it
for the
doesn't-
employees.
Yeah. no, I'm-
Yeah. Nice. Thank you, Greg. Is that all?
I don't know who all needs to sign this the way this is written.
Gary put it in the packet, so.
I don't know, mine's written on, so I'm assuming this is not a copy I signed.
Right, mine is written on
Yeah.
also.
I'll
There's one spot for a test, which I signed
Yeah.
and dated. So who gets this back?
It was in my packet, I don't know anything about it.
Okay, it's a resolution, so I guess we can turn it back here.
You want a copy of that, Greg?
What's that?
You need a copy of the resolution.
If I could, if it's not big deal, if not.
Oh, I didn't do mine, just for my paperwork. Do you have an extra? You know what, I think it's fine.
Did we vote on it? No, not yet. He didn't call the vote yet.
We did.
Oh, you did call it?
Well, I think
You got that, didn't you?
I wrote it down. I didn't get the
you
vote.
didn't vote yet.
Okay, motion to approve resolution 1-25-1 to authorize the NPPFA deferred compensation plan as stated. Motion made by Ms. Weedle,
Yes.
seconded by Mr. Dello,
Yes.
Mr. Sini,
Yes.
and Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Okay. Now it's a question.
Good. Yeah, sure.
Okay, that is all I have.
Thank you, ma'am. Oh, did you get your pipe or whatever it is? You didn't have to leave it, does it feel like?
That's all.
Oh, I don't want to do that. Streets and alleys, Mr. Frank Pacini.
Decorations will be taken down around the 16th to 17th of this month. When they get the, bucket truck.
Yeah.
And weather permitting,
Well, obviously.
yeah, and that's all I got.
Okay. I just have to say, I did drive through town on my way to the meeting. The roads look decent. We're never gonna have totally clear roads. That's not how our roads are gonna go. You're gonna always have some snow on them. Steve and JD do a great job getting here when they can. They're not gonna come out as soon as the snow starts falling. That's absurd. They're gonna wait till a couple inches fall and then they'll come out and do it and they'll salt. So far I haven't gotten any complaints, but I feel like they will come, but yeah, the only intersection I slid through is in the county, so. That wasn't us.
JD's been using the ATV to do the paths.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. How's that working out, JD?
Working on good.
Yeah.
Have to bundle up clear.
Oh, yeah.
It does have windshield on it.
Oh, does it? Oh, nice. So just-
Not much.
I just ask the residents to show some patience when it comes to snow. I know, it's frustrating. You get up in the morning, there's a ton of snow, it's still on the street. They know what they're doing. Steve's been doing snow around here for 10 years now. Just give them some ease. Don't get upset because it doesn't get cleared right away or it's still slippery after they clear it. They're not magic men, they're people, just like us. Just give them some grace. So, sorry, I just had to get on the soapbox about that. Finance Committee, Mr. Gary Morgan.
I have nothing tonight, but want to remind you that there will be a finance committee meeting prior to the next meeting on the 21st at 5:30. And while it's a finance committee, all trustees are welcome to come and participate. Everybody will get a review of what the revenue history's been in the past as far as budget and what we've actually received, so that when we come up with the budget numbers for FY25. It's somewhat what we've done, and then following that during the meeting, we'll actually approve that. So those things are coming.
Anybody can come, even these smokes right here.
They can come to.
I'm just saying, don't say just trustees, anybody can
No,
come, you guys are all welcome.
Yes, everybody's welcome.
Okay, thank you, sir. Community Outreach Committee, Mr. Ben Detloff.
Two things, this evening. First, a reminder, February 1st is our annual cabin fever reliever fundraiser. I'd like to have everybody that can make it come out that evening and support the village. I also have, and I don't know if everybody had the expense list in their packages. Everybody had this?
Yeah.
It's a breakdown. Basically, Mr. Brower came up with this, what we're gonna need out of funds from our Fest account. Gary totaled this up for me. It's $4,455. It's a breakdown of beverages of $890, food of $1,425, supplies $190, advertising and printing $450, and decor and raffle $900, and $600. So at this time, I would make a motion to ask permission from the village board to spend $4,455, not to exceed that, out of our Fest account.
Well, second.
You don't have any more expenses? You don't want to go a little bit higher just in case?
No, we added
Okay,
a
just making
little
sure.
extra in there.
Okay,
And, Steve said if it's extra 68 cents, he'll put it in. No, no,
that's not the way to get on the board,
Yeah.
Steve.
no, we allowed,
No.
we allowed a little bit extra in there and,
That's a good amount.
not to exceed that amount. So, and just so everybody's clear, this is money that's raised through donations. There is no tax dollars involved in that. We just repeat that so no one, misunderstands. This is just money that we have in the account to put on different things in the village and to do improvements as money allows.
Yes, sir. So we have a motion on the floor
And a second.
and a second.
No further questions?
I just asked the question to make sure, but other than that, we're good.
All right. Motion to approve, spending $4,455 out of the festival account for the cabin fever reliever expenses. Motion made by Mr. Detloff,
Yes.
seconded by Mr. Morgan,
Yes.
Mr. Pacini,
Yes.
and Ms. Weedle.
Yes.
That's all I have, man.
I have not made a meeting yet, but I do want to volunteer for that night. I'll be,
We're,
okay,
yeah, there's always.
I'll be here, I'll do beer, food, something.
There's always a spot for everybody that wants to
Okay,
come.
hold me a spot, sir. I'll
Okay,
be
we
there.
will.
Buildings and ground, Ms. Bruni is not here. We are going to vote on the engineer proposal for Hillgert Park improvements, but we're gonna put a little thing in it.
So at this time, I would like to address the board concerning the park improvements, if I may.
Yep,
I would like to move to approve the engineer's proposal for Hillgert Park improvements as presented, subject to possible changes and final approval prior to any bid publication.
so we got approved for 300,000. That does not by any means mean that we have to spend 300,000. But that's how much they're gonna gift us, and then we would pay the rest. So, yeah, when it comes to the park, we're definitely, the future board is.
I second.
If anybody, I know the board members got this, if anybody in the audience would like to see a picture of what the proposed park is gonna look like. And another thing, this park in the back is gonna be ADA compliant.
Yes.
Which we do not have in the village right now.
Correct.
So initially, when this came out earlier, we kind of took some things out and made some adjustments, and we may do that in the future. But to be able to get this and secure the grant, because it's really time sensitive, it has to be turned in through January. To take advantage of this, we have to approve it at the board today. And then we can make adjustments in the future.
Of course, yeah.
Any further questions?
No.
Okay. Motion to approve the engineer's proposal for Hildreth Park improvements as presented, subject to possible changes and final approval prior to any bid publication. Motion is made by Mr. Detloff,
Yes.
seconded by Mr. Morgan.
Yes.
Mr. Pacini
Yes.
and Ms. Weedle.
Yes.
All right. I'm sorry, I'm scatterbrained today. We'll go back to Carl, because I know you have,
Yes, it's, my trustee is absent, I can go through this. Basically, last year, the police department handled 1,259 calls. There's a summary of them on the sheet. To highlight them, 82 accident calls, 164 ambulance assists, 26 animal calls. We had 1 burglary, 15 civil cases, 11 deceptive practices, 23 disorderly conducts, 59 domestic disturbances, 36 mental cases, 26 suspicious people, 13 thefts, and 48 welfare checks. The important part about that is some of the most dangerous things we do are probably the accidents and the domestics, which are very high, and the mental
mental
cases.
case or suspicious person.
You know, that's.
I encourage people though, keep calling. If you see someone you don't recognize, just whatever, lurking, walking, or you get that feeling on the back of your neck, by all means, call the police and have them look at it. They have no problem doing that. 90% of the time, they're probably looking for something to do anyways. Not gonna lie, I worked in Beecher, it can be very boring. So if you see something and you're like, I don't know, that looked kind of funky, you can call the non-emergency number or.
Don't call the non-emergency number because I have people leave messages.
Oh, yeah, true. Okay.
Suspicious people in cars on a Friday and I get it on Monday, so I don't think that's very, unfortunately.
At other stations, the non-emergency number is more proactive. There's someone in the station
No.
who can answer it. There's no problem calling 911. They will ask you what your emergency is. You can just let them know you're in Grant Park. They will be like, oh, we get it. Okay, yeah, you got a specific person, you'll go over there. But yeah, please, I know no one in here needs to hear this, but anyone who watches it, please, going forward, if you just get that feeling, it's okay to call 911. If you're not emergent, they will put you on hold and you can be on hold and then the police will come out and look at it. We have 4th of July coming up, which I know a lot of people with the fireworks. If you hear them, call. It's okay. You will not get in trouble for calling 911. Sorry, go ahead, Ben.
I just had a question for the chief. I heard you earlier talking about the body cams. Can you
Yes.
fill us in a little bit more about?
As of January 1, under the Safety Act, we're required a body camera. We were able to fire some at no cost, but the cost of setting them up was about $2,000. And they're fully operational, and there's some grants out there now that we're gonna apply for. Going forward, hopefully we can get brand new ones and systems and all that. Because again, this is one of those things the state does. It's called unfunded mandates. They mandate us to do things, not realizing the size of our police department. I don't have $25,000 to throw away on body cameras and all that, but we've been able to do it at a minimal cost at this point. So that's where we're at, I think, but
We're doing what we can.
Yep.
Yeah,
How
but
many cameras did you say you had?
they gave me 8. We activated 4 because they're about $300 for storage. The expensive thing is storage.
storage.
And the new grant covers in-car cameras, body cameras, and storage. And prior to other grants, it was you had to buy them outright beforehand. The new grant is gonna be they pay the manufacturer. So it doesn't overburden the small agencies like us, where I can't front that money and in hopes I get it back.
Yeah, from the government.
Yes, so it doesn't work that way, but the new grant hopefully we can get it. There's several other federal grants that I applied for as well, so we'll see. Hopefully we'll get one of them.
So if we do get a new server, that'll help the body camera.
Well, we're required to do, if you don't do the cloud storage, which is $300 per camera per year, If we got our own server, we wouldn't generate that much activity on our body cameras that we would have to keep beyond it. The system self deletes after a certain period of time unless you mark it and hold it. So we would not have that much on the server, where if we had a big enough server, we could do it internally, not have to pay the storage costs. And I'm hoping when I write the grant that I can include maybe part of the server costs in the grant.
Yeah.
I just don't know if that would be acceptable to the grant or if they want it to be cloud-based how it is now.
Yeah.
So that's the parameters of the grant are, I haven't seen them yet, so they're supposed to come out shortly.
Yeah,
What kind of funding are we looking at for the equip police department, what we need right now?
Well, right now, we're set for this year, with the, about 2,000.
Well, I mean, we're gonna be talking budget figures here, we need to be looking into the following year, if we have to make accommodation.
I think the chance of getting the grant is pretty good. There's a federal grant for small agencies and tribal police departments, which I applied for that, so but they said that we were overlooked the first time, but they encouraged me to reapply, which I did. So we'll see. A lot of these grants, the state grant is very good. It's 100% funded. So it would cost us nothing, but it's the state.
yeah.
So I don't know exactly how it's going to go, but we're going to keep trying. And I think, what we have is totally sufficient for what we need right now.
Mhm.
And we're working through that. So.
Yeah, there are a lot of grants out there by all means, but if you have to pay it and then get it paid back.
Yeah.
It's too hard to try and get that money back.
Yeah, it took Mantino like 2 years
Yes.
to get refunded their $35,000, which
Yeah.
we could not absorb that.
If it was a safety thing for the officer, I'd be all about it. We would be spending the money, no question. But it's just a requirement by the state that they just want to keep an eye on us or whatever, so.
I think it's great for the officers.
It is.
It's just a matter of, we can't afford the best of the best
Yeah.
until we help them out.
Well,
Yeah.
the body cams in a lot of ways, the incident in Bradley without the body cam has been a totally different
Yep.
scenario.
It's a difference.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's very important, regardless of how it goes. I will put some funding in the budget in case we don't get it. In
Right,
order to keep these up and running as long as we can. I don't think it's gonna be an issue, but we've got a lot of avenues that we're pursuing to locate funding, and things like that can help us, and so we won't have to fund it
I
ourselves.
think the
Yeah.
board will work with you on this. It's a necessity, it's not something that we would like to do someday. It's
No,
something that,
Oh,
even
yeah.
though it's a mandate, it's something that we have to
Yes.
address.
well, yeah, I think, like you said, we have 8 cameras, but we only had to do 4 because we're limited on how many officers we have on
Right,
anyway,
Right,
so.
like if one goes down, we have these 4 backup.
Right.
ones We can immediately activate, so.
Yeah.
And I have one more thing.
Yes, sir.
Myself and Officer Kicker attended a meeting today at the school. We work very closely with the schools when it comes to security and things
Our
like that.
schools, right?
Our schools, yes. And so countywide, we're going to common language for all of our schools because it gets confusing when we tell the teachers, we're going into a hold, we're going into a secure, we're going into a lockdown. And this defines all the parameters of what everything is, from hold to secure to lockdown to evacuation to shelters. And our principal talked about that they're really, I think we're really the first county that is on board with a countywide I think it's relocation or,
I know what you're talking about. I can't
yeah.
think of the word,
Again,
but yes.
and KCC is one of the spots, I think Olivet is the other, but to get the students that we have to evacuate back to their parents.
Right.
But we're gonna take them far off site if it's
Right.
an event going on.
Like somewhere here,
Yes,
Yeah.
this minor, if it's something minor here is good, but we need them probably farther if it's something major.
well, yeah,
And they went into a lot of depth with that. We're gonna work with them as we do every year. Al Castillo's certified in Stop the Bleed, and we teach them how to use the tourniquets they have. We teach them how to use the defibrillators they have. We teach them how to use everything that they have at their disposal. The school's always been a great partner with us, and I think Lauren, it went pretty well.
Mhm.
And they have a lot of new people on their committee, and
oh,
we just want to make sure that, hopefully nothing happens here, but if something did happen, we're totally prepared for that. So,
I get it.
yeah, so.
Yeah.
we're good
Well,
to go.
Plus, you ask your kid what they did at school today. I don't know, they just locked us up. What locked you up?
The problem is a lot of this, when we talk about these things, prior to the government getting involved in this, we did our own drills and we could just call a drill whenever we decided. Now they have to notify the parents 72 hours before and the child can opt out of the drill, which is like the most ridiculous thing on earth that you can, I guess I'm gonna predict when something bad is gonna happen. So I think unfortunately they've taken that out of our hands. So we do the best we can. We're required to do one drill a year with the school. We plan on doing 3 or 4. Our schools, if anybody doesn't know, and I think probably most people don't, Kankakee County is the only county in the state of Illinois. We have an emergency radio system in every school, but I think 1 in the entire county. All the secretary has to do is hit the button on this radio, activates the whole county. It goes to the dispatch. They can hear everything that goes on for a duration of 30 seconds. So if there's a disturbance going on, we have a pre-planned response card. I don't have to call for help from Manteno, Momence, county, state, Beecher. They get
It's like a box
notified.
alarm. for the fire
Box
department.
alarm.
Yeah.
Yep, they get notified right away, as well as all the fire departments get notified. So if something's happening, I don't have to worry about, okay, who do I gotta call while I'm trying to go to the school and take care of it? It's coming. So we are the only county that has that,
That's awesome.
and it's an awesome system.
Yeah.
And hopefully we never abuse it.
Good. Thank you, Carl.
Well,
I have, I know Chuck Steele, the former,
sure.
well, he died, but yeah,
What?
he passed away.
Did?
Yep.
Excuse me?
Nobody heard that?
No.
Yeah, Charles Steele, he passed away last week.
Oh, I was on. No.
Yeah, he's passed away. So I was gonna say, my condolences to Momence, because
Wow.
unless there's another Charles or Chuck, whatever his name, Steele, and yeah, I read the obituary.
No idea.
Okay, well,
Wow.
let's double check that, or anybody freaks out, but yeah, I read it and I was like, oh, wow, that's sad, because I knew he was sick.
He's had a lot of health issues.
Yeah. Any word on our former, still?
I actually stopped by there yesterday. He's not doing so well.
No.
Marty's been battling some health conditions and.
So anyone
Wish him
who
the
wants to send out some prayers for Marty, he's struggling right now with some health issues. He did serve the community for 6 years as the village president. So he did earn something of that, so. Anybody that wants to pray and say good wishes, that would be nice. We'll keep you updated, obviously, if something happens. We would let the residents know. There are people out there who, probably, appreciated his 6-year term and whatnot, so. We'll do that. I was talking to, I don't know, Gary the other day. I do have to reach out to the school about to see if they were going to put anything towards the repairs by the elementary school. So I know we had talked to them about it before. Now that the jobs are done and we paid for it, I was gonna call Dr. Palin and have a meeting and then come back to the board and let them know they decided yay or nay. So I've been working on that. Neil has finished up, a packet for us. He will be having it, I believe, at the next meeting for, the streetscape. We, he had us pick, he gave me a list of things to pick for the streetscaping thing. I just picked stuff we already have. I were gonna try and buy new stuff, like the garbage cans and what the benches, just to match what we already have. So, when we get that packet, I'll pass it out for you guys. Sorry. Does anyone have anything else? Oh, the Christmas party. I talked to a local-ish restaurant. I was not gonna do it in Grant Park just so that Grant Park businesses didn't feel like we chose one over the other. I was just gonna go one town over to Momence. They have a nice little restaurant, locally owned, not a big establishment for us. I was going to ask the board if they would be okay if we extended invitations to Mr. Detloff or Mr. Valjean and Mr. Coates, just because they were part of the board when we did get this money gifted for a Christmas party. So we could think about that. I really had something else. I apologize. I don't remember what it was. So if there's anything else,
You talked to me about it too.
I know, I asked you about it and I
Yeah, you did.
seriously do not remember what it was.
It was the other thing that you already
Yeah.
mentioned.
I'll write it down and get it at the next meeting. It wasn't anything pressing.
Do you have a date for the Christmas party?
I do not. I was gonna try and do it on a Monday. If that was Sunday or Monday, probably something where you guys that worked at night and stuff. So I was thinking Sunday or Monday. So I'll give you plenty of time to get it. I'm thinking maybe after end of February, beginning of March, after like all the hoopla, of cabin fever reliever and whatnot. Yeah, I don't know. All right, if I think of it, I'll email it. Motion to adjourn or anyone, I don't even remember what I said. Do we all want to leave?
Yes, motion to adjourn.
Yes, let's go. Sorry. I can't think straight.